Vault Heads, this is the self-proclaimed, sarcastically named Captain KeyForge, also known as PJ Broughton of the Steel City Snufflegators.
Welcome to the latest episode of Captain's Commpod. This is going to be the penultimate which token creature is the best token creature. So today we're going to look at House Sanctum, we're going to look at the 4 token creatures from House Sanctum. I'm going to give you my order of which I think is the most competitive, from least competitive to most competitive as ever. So yeah, we'll be starting at 4. So in 4th place, I have got Defender, okay, which is vanilla really. It's Defender, 2 power, 1 armor, human, knight, and nothing else. So how does it compare to tokens from other houses? Well, it's not that bad. 14 of the 28 tokens are only 1 power. Well, the 1 armor from this is going to stand up to most of those. 2 power will give you the ability to kill them when fighting. It's not bad. It's not great. I don't think it's a deck ruiner, but equally I don't think it's going to propel your deck to new heights, as it were. So why have I got it in 4th? Because that's the most important. So one of the Sanctum Token Creatures has a play ability, as it were. It's not actually a true play ability, but it might as well be a play ability. And I think that's better than this one. One of them has Taunt. And I think the fact that it gives you the ability at almost a drop of a hat to protect another creature makes it better than this. And one of them is the linked card, and its passive ability, in my opinion, makes it better than this one. So while this is stronger than 2 of them, because it is, and while this has the most armor of any Sanctum Token creature, because it does, none of the others have armor, this has 1 point of armor, because it's essentially so passive in terms of no passive abilities, no action abilities, no reap abilities, no fight abilities, no taunt, no nothing whatsoever. Whereas what the other ones do is more useful. That's why I've got this one in 4th. So I far from think it's awful. There's been plenty of other token creatures from the other houses which I've looked at that I've been thinking this one with even average cards could possibly be a deck ruiner. I mean, all of them with the right cards look like they could be okay. Some of them look like they could be very good with the right cards, but without them be stinkers. I don't think this is ever going to be a nightmare to see, because it's not got any horrible effects. Like, it can reap, it can fight, it's not got any downsides to it. The downsides to it are really it's a bit boring in terms of it just does nothing. I don't think your opponent's going to be desperately eager to kill them, but equally there's no punishment for doing that either, so it doesn't give your opponent bad choices either, which is always a good thing. Cards that give your opponent bad choices are great cards. So yeah, I far from think it's awful, but compared to the others in this house, I think they are more useful and going to be more competitive. So now we'll move on to what I've got at 3rd. And in 3, I've got the linked Sanctum Token Creature, which is Disciple, Human Monk, Power 1, no armor, with a passive ability which is always turned on. Disciple gets +1 power and +1 armor for each monk neighbour it has. It's a monk, so every time you put a token creature next to a token creature, they buff each other. So if you've got 2 of these next to each other, they've both got 2 power and they've both got 1 armor. That's as good as the one we were just looking at. And that's without the linked card. And it's not bad. Get 3 of them next to each other. The one in the middle is going to be 3 power, 2 armor. And then the ones at either side are going to be 2 power and 1 armor. I like it. It's not amazing, but equally, I like that they all work together. I think it's quite good. And again, that's before we talk about the linked special rare, the linked rare that's going to come with it, which is Material of the Grey, 3 power, 2 armor, after Reap, ready each disciple. Now that's a decent card. That thing needs to be killed. You get that thing down, and your opponent is going to be looking at it going, that's got to go. I mean, say you've got 3 disciples in play, and you put down Material of the Grey, and they don't manage to kill it. So I can reap with the 3 disciples, I can reap with Material of the Grey, and then I can reap with the disciples again. Or the one that's got 2 armor. Fight with it and kill something, then I could reap with Material of the Grey and ready it. The bonus card is very good. It is. The only downside of it is it's after reap. So the linked creature, you have to get it down, you have to keep alive, or it has to survive at least one opponent's turn as ever before you actually get to reap with it and trigger its ability. And again, everybody's going to go after that. They see that creature come down, they're going after it. I mean, yeah, 3 armor, 3 power, 2 armor. You know, it's got a bit of durability there, but they'll throw everything at it. I would throw everything at that. The disciples less so, but certainly the linked rare that comes with it, I'm going to throw everything at it. So I don't think it's a bad card because it's going to buff its neighbours naturally. They're going to work well together. You know, filling up a board full of these, most of them could end up being 3 power, 2 armor, which is going to make them quite sticky. They're inoffensive as well, so your opponent doesn't necessarily feel the need to kill them the moment they arrive on the board. So you might start to build a few. I mean, obviously your opponent wants to destroy your board, but there are some creatures that are better than others and you always want to get rid of first. So there's that going for them as well. Yeah, nice little passive ability. Quite a good linked card. I wouldn't be disappointed getting this. There's a lot worse token creatures in this set than this one and this link card. So I wouldn't be disappointed getting it. I just think that the other 2 Sanctum creatures or Sanctum Token Creatures are better than this one. But that one is not a bad card at all. Disciple is at 3. And then that is going to bring me on to what I've got in second place, which is Squire, which is 2 power, 0 armor, human, but it's got taunt. Now, the disciples could be more powerful than this. Certainly one in the middle of 2 others would be 3 power and 2 armor. But again, you've got to have 3 next to each other, and only the middle one is 3 power and 2 armor. The ones on either side are 2 power and 1 armor. Again, there's the linked card, but to actually trigger the linked card, you've got to put it down, it's got to survive, you've got to reap with it, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff we just talked about. The ability to just taunt something easily, the ability to create a token creature and then protect something easily and quickly is good. I haven't been through and counted how many taunt cards there are in this set, but just the ability, we have seen lots of ways to create token creatures. Cross house. Most decks in Winds of Exchange seem to have cards in every house that can create token creatures. Take things like Subject Kirby or Comms Officer Kirby. Comms Officer Kirby. Play any card out of your hand as long as it's not a creature. On play, fight, and reap. You want to keep that alive. One of the best ways to keep something alive when you haven't got ward tokens is a taunt creature. You're going to be unlucky, in my opinion, to get a Winds of Exchange Squire deck without at least 1 creature in it that is worth protecting, that has a good passive ability that either allows you to, draw more cards or increase key cost or decrease key cost, or have a great reap ability, have a great fight ability. I mean, again, everybody talks about Brick Nasty and Brobnar. You want Brick Nasty to stay alive. You might even try to avoid fighting with him sometimes just to keep him alive so that the stuff gets the buffs around it. Again, taunt it. there you go. That's one more fight you've got to make to get to it. I mean, yeah, it's only 2 power. So most of the time when someone fights into this, they probably are going to destroy it. I'll give you that. Absolutely give you that. But the fact that they've got to spend the fight to get through this, to get through the thing at the side of it, I really like it. I think that the ability to create a token creature and defend something, and again, you'll probably be able to do it in every house in your 3 houses in your deck on demand. You'll know which creatures are the ones you need to defend. You're going to be looking to target those creatures and get a token creature next to them. I like it. It was close between this and Disciple as to which got second and which got third. But yeah, for me, this one was just a little bit better. And that's why this one is at second. And that brings me on to first. So my top of the shop, my best Sanctum Token Creature, or at least my most competitive, is Power 1, 0 armor, Cleric, Human. After Cleric enters play, capture 1. And that's why I said it's not quite a playability, because it doesn't actually say play, capture 1. It says after Cleric enters play, capture 1. And that obviously brings us back to one of the key things about the rules for token creatures. Token creatures aren't actually played. Token creatures enter play. So Quixelstone, you can get stuffed, fella, because you're not stopping token creatures entering play. Life Ward, Quota, sacrifice Life Ward. Your opponent can't play creatures next turn. Well, yeah, they can't play creatures, but they can put token creatures into play. So yeah, that's quite an important distinction. So when Cleric enters play, you can capture 1. It also doesn't say that it goes on Cleric, so you can put it anywhere you want. You don't have to put it on the rather easy to destroy 1 power, no armor, no elusive token creature. You can spread it out. I think it's going to be quite easy to kill, although again, half of the token creatures are 1 power, so it's not like it stands out as being it's the only token creature with 1 power. No, half of them only got 1 power. But Amber Control, and it's automatically going to give you Amber Control in all 3 houses. If you can create token creatures in all 3 houses, which, as I said a bit earlier, most of the Winds of Exchange decks seem to be able to do, this gives you Amber Control in all 3 houses. Might not give you a lot of it, because you might not be able to create 4 token creatures in a turn in a house that's not Sanctum, but often 2 or 3 amber captured is enough to take your opponent off check. Taking your opponent off check for 1 turn can be enough to win the game. Amber control is very important. I'd say it's the second most important thing to making amber. Making amber first, getting rid of your opponent's amber second. Now, capturing doesn't truly get rid of, because they'll always get it back. So your opponent loses, you steal, whatever is always better than capture, but still, they've only got to 6, create token creature, take them off check. It could be the difference between winning the game. So I certainly think, yes, it's lost 1 power against Squire with its 2 power and taunt, but playing it and capturing an amber for me is much better than protecting a creature. Playing it and capturing an amber is much better than buffing your neighbours, and it's certainly much better than just a vanilla 2 power 1 armor. So yeah, this is what I've got at the top, because this could absolutely win you games. The ability in any house to create a token creature that captures amber and puts it anywhere on your board. So yeah, what do you think? Where do you agree? Where do you disagree? Have you played with any of them, and you've got thoughts on they were good, they were bad, etc.? Love to hear it. You can get in touch through Twitter or through email. You can comment on the Facebook post or the YouTube post. But as ever, thank you for staying with me to the end. Next time we'll be having Brobnar and going through what looks like a very, very good and strong return to KeyForge from them. But I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to you coming and joining me again, and may the Forge be with you.